Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick or the Notorious Fantasy back again today with another video, and today we're doing a 12-team PPR mock draft from the 12th position. Before I start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please click the subscribe button that's down below. It's also over here where my cursor is. Click the notification bell to get notified for the daily videos I make. You're going to be seeing double uploads, triple uploads, quadruple uploads flying at your face. Click the like button too if you enjoy, and leave a comment on something you hated, something you liked, whatever you want, It makes me happy. And send these videos to your friends if you want your friends to not be ass at fantasy football. So, like I said, it's a 12-team PPR draft. We're on Sleeper Bot, the website. Look up Sleeper app on Google, or on your phone, just look up Sleeper on the store. So we got a quarterback. The positions are quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, flex, kicker, defense, and 6 bench spots. And we are drafting from the 12th position. So let's get right into it. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Begin draft. First pick, Alvin Kamara, Zeke, Saquon, CMC, Melvin Gordon, DeAndre Hopkins, David Johnson, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Le'Veon Bell, Michael Thomas. Now it is our pick. So as you noticed, the top 4 picks are literally the same pretty much every single draft. It's going to be Alvin Kamara, Zeke, Saquon, and McCaffrey in no particular order, pretty much in every single draft, unless you see someone who takes Melvin Gordon at 4 or David Johnson at 4 or wants to go receiver that early. But I would not recommend going receiver early. If you want to go receiver, you should probably be around like the 6th, 7th, or 8th pick to be going receiver. I like the running backs earlier than that a lot better. Okay, so it's our pick. And as you know on this channel, I always recommend going two running backs in the first 3 rounds if possible. And I also think you need to be safe with your first 4 or 5 round picks because you don't want to be drafting guys that are injury prone. You need to pay attention to how injury prone players are because you don't want to be drafting someone who has been fucked 2 years in a row getting hurt. So it's our pick. And we get 2 picks back to back, Michael Jordan 96, 97, because we're at the 12th pick, and that's the swing. And one thing I did notice is before I make my pick is that if you want to start a run, being at this last pick is the best way to do it. So like probably not in the first round, but you're later in the draft, you're in like the 6th round, and you draft 2 wide receivers, you may start a wide receiver run if you were to do that because people get scared and panic, but you're not going to panic. Or at least you shouldn't be panicking. So it's our pick, and we're going to go running back here. I'm going to go James Conner. I like him the most out of all of these guys. I would have been more happy if someone was to have picked another receiver earlier. We were able to get Joe Mixon, but that's A-okay. We're going James Conner here. He's pretty safe in my opinion. Him or Williams would have been the pick here. Dalvin Cook is injury prone. Like I said, don't be picking injury prone guys. And Todd Gurley is injured right now with problems having arthritis in the knee. So don't be drafting injured players in the first couple of rounds. You're gonna fucking regret your decision. So we're going James Conner here. And then it's our pick again, obviously. And I want to go receiver here because it is full PPR, and I know that I can get solid guys in the 3rd or 4th round at running back. Even though normally I do go 2 running backs right in a row, I want to see how different the draft is if I am to draft a receiver in this situation. So we're going to go with the best receiver here is Julio. It's between Julio and Juju, and I think Julio is probably going to do great. They have 13 out of their 16 fantasy games. If you're playing 17 fantasy games, you're stupid. You can't be playing 17 games because the last week 17, a lot of guys get benched. So change the league to not have that and petition for it if you're not the commissioner. So it's our pick, and we want Julio because he has 13 games indoor. That's crazy. That means there's not any wind affecting you. And Matt Ryan is going to have a day. Matt Ryan's a guy I like a lot for that reason. And Julio Jones is his #1 target. And Julio is going to absolutely eat. While I could pick Juju here because I like Juju a lot too, I am going to go with Julio Jones here. Boom, Julio Jones. After we go Julio Jones, Julio Jones's touchdown numbers are going to go up this year. I could guarantee you that. I'm no John Elway. So Julio Jones goes, followed by Juju Smith-Schuster, Dalvin Cook, Odell Beckham Jr., Todd Gurley, Mike Evans, Travis Kelce, Antonio Brown, Damian Williams, Keenan Allen, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Devontae Freeman, Leonard Fournette, Zach Ertz, AJ Green, T.Y. Hilton, Aaron Jones, Marlon Mack, George Kittle, Josh Jacobs, Patrick Mahomes. So the first quarterback comes in the third round, which is going to be pretty normal in leagues that are kind of competitive, but in a not as competitive league where you're playing with your like friends who are kind of newer. Patrick Mahomes may be picked in the first round or the second round, so just be cautious of that. So it's our pick here, and I just want to point out how the big three tight ends this time went in the first 3 rounds. Usually it takes till the fourth round for the third one to be picked, whether that's Kittle or Ertz. Normally they're picked in like one of those guys picked in the fourth round, or both of them are picked in the fourth round. But this time they didn't even survive that long, which is something to be noted because if you want one of those big three tight ends, you do have to pay heavy draft capital for them. Is it worth it? Now that's your own decision. I think Travis Kelce is worth it in a 10-team or 8-team league, but I don't think he's as worth it in 12, 14, or 16-team league. But nevertheless, it's our pick, and we are going running back here because I don't like the running backs later as much, obviously. So we're going running back, and right here, there's one running back who I really like, carry on still on the board, and a guy that I'm okay with in Derrick Henry, but I always go carry on Johnson. He's on every single one of my fantasy teams in these mock drafts because I view him so highly. I think he could finish top 12, and I think in my rankings he's 11. That video is going to be coming soon. That's a little sneak preview for you. But we're going to go Derrick Henry here, strictly on the upside that hopefully he gets all of the touches. We could actually just get both of them. So I'm just speaking out of my ass here. We're going to get both of them here. We're going to go carry on here. And then Derrick Henry. The reason why I am more skeptical on Derrick Henry is I don't know. Like, he put up shitty production. Like, here, let me click on this because it will show you. The first season, part of the season, 4 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 3 points. That's fucking terrible. And then at the back of the season, 47 points, 30 points, 16, 11, 12, 17. Those are games that you want out of your running back. And I think that we need to hope that, like this says, the Titans plan to ride Derrick Henry. If that happens and they do decide to be run heavy or run heavy enough where he gets 15 touches a game, Derrick Henry can absolutely be a top 10 running back. But we don't need him to be top 10. We just need him to play good enough to be our flex. So that's why I feel safer drafting him in this situation. I don't understand how people pick Derrick Henry as their running back one. I don't trust him enough to do that. I'm more confident in carry on being my running back one if I went 2 receivers in the first 2 picks. But we're going to go Derrick Henry here. I would probably pick Aaron Jones if he was here, but he's not here. And David Montgomery is 2. There's not enough information yet on if he's going to end up being the one. I think he will end up being the number one running back on the team, because he is good. But just because he's good doesn't mean Matt Nagy thinks that he should be the man with the plan on that team. So we're going Derrick Henry here. After we selected Derrick Henry, Brandon Cooks, Julian Edelman, Tyreek Hill, Stefan Diggs, Kenny Galladay, Mark Ingram, Andrew Luck, the second quarterback off the board, Kenyon Drake, David Montgomery, Philip Lindsay, Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield, Hunter Henry, Tyler Lockett, Sony Michel, Aaron Rodgers, Tariq Cohen, James White, Tevin Coleman. So now it is our pick. And 4 tight ends have went, and 4 quarterbacks have been selected off the board. Now, I want to point something out. This team over here went with the 3 receiver strategy in PPR, which I do think, or 4. He went 4 in the first 5 rounds. That I would not advise of. Going 3 and 2 running backs is an okay strategy, in my opinion. The Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Calvin Ridley stack that's going to be in your lineup every week, 2 receivers and 1 in the flex, could be winning you every week, but I still do think that running backs are so important and lead you to the championship, so I would not do that strategy, but I can't hate on you if you do it. And 1 second real quick. Sorry about that. Someone at the door. We are going to be going. We want to get. See, I do like the running backs here, but I do think we should pick at least 1 wide receiver here, due to the fact that I don't think any of the guys that I want at running back, like if I don't pick a receiver here, I'm going to wait a while to pick other ones. So we're just going to go receiver here. I do like Chris Carson, but I'd rather get like Penny, Miller, and Latavius later. Hopefully they fall to us. But we're going to be going Mike Williams here. I don't really like Jarvis that much this year. He used to be my favorite player when he was on the Dolphins, which are my favorite team, but I will not be going him this year because I think there's too many mouths to feed on Cleveland. While you may think that he may be better because Odell's going to be doubled, he may be wide the fuck open. That is true. That is something to think about. But Mike Williams is the number 2 on the Chargers, and he's going to be getting hella touchdowns. He scored 10 touchdowns last year, and I think his receptions, and his receiving yards per game are going to go up in comparison to last year. So I'm pretty confident in Mike Williams here. He doesn't have any injury history, I believe, so I trust him a lot. And he's just a guy I'm going to be going. But before I make that pick, I'm going to pick him, and then I have to explain something also that I forgot to explain earlier. So Stephon Diggs from earlier, not Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill. Now, it came out a few days ago that Tyreek Hill is going to get a 4-game suspension max. That's what came out allegedly. So if that is to happen, picking Tyreek in the 4th or 5th round may be worth it because you're going to be getting 12 games of the season of Tyreek Hill absolutely eating and destroying your opponents. So I think it may be worth it. Maybe not to my taste would I be picking Tyreek Hill there, but I do understand why people will be doing that. So we have our 3 running backs, our 2 receivers, and only 4 tight ends have been selected. So hopefully Evan Ingram can fall to us in the next round. If not, it's okay because we don't like picking tight ends early, anyways, really, unless it's a 10-team league. So it's okay. We're going to be going with a running back here because you can just wait on receivers once you fill out that receiving core. So we're going to go Chris Carson to our bench. Chris Carson could be the number 1. Probably right now he is the number 1 on the Seahawks at the running back position, and I don't want to be missing out on these Seahawks running backs on such a run-heavy team like Seattle. Even though I do like Tyler Lockett, who is a receiver on Seattle, but that has nothing to do with our Chris Carson pick, and we are going Chris Carson here. It's pretty much a no-brainer. He is going to be sitting on our bench, but I am very confident week 5 when Carryon's out to just sling Carson into the lineup, and I may even start him over Derrick Henry certain weeks, depending on his matchup. And if Chris Carson pans out to be an absolute unit player for your team, like I predict. Boom, Chris Carson. So after we go Chris Carson, Sammy Watkins, O.J. Howard, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller, Tyler Boyd, Rashad Penny, Jarvis Landry, Alshon Jeffrey, DJ Moore, Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram does not fall to us. Darius Geis, Matt Ryan, Kyler Murray, Eric Ebron, Robbie Anderson, Darrell Henderson, Drew Brees, Dante Pettis, Miles Sanders, Latavius Murray, Sterling Shepard, Jared Cook, and now it's our pick. So now the running backs we're looking at here, I don't like as much. So maybe picking Mike Williams was something that we will end up regretting. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. So all the good tight ends that I wanted are gone. O.J. Howard and Evan Ingram. None of these guys that went are out of the ordinary. Eric Ebron, I don't like at all. Don't be picking him. And all the quarterbacks that I like have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the quarterbacks that I would be willing to pick in before like the 7th round are gone. So we're not going quarterback here. We'll just wait as per the usual on my channel. We're gonna be going. I don't want Kareem Hunt or LaShawn McCoy. We're probably gonna go receiver or running back anyways here. So we're gonna go with a running back that I actually trust. That is, I like Royce over Ronald Jones because I know for a fact Royce Freeman is gonna be getting touches with Philip Lindsay, and Philip Lindsay got hurt at the end of the season, which is something not ideal for recovering fast when you get hurt week 16 when comparison to if he was to have gotten hurt week 1, that I'm definitely a lot more confident in him. So I think Rolls Royce could be the number 1 on that team, and in like the 7th round, that's some pretty solid upside. So we're going to go with Royce Freeman, the Rolls Royce. After we go Royce Freeman, we could go receiver here, but I do not really like a lot of these receivers when I think later we can get guys that have more upside than these guys. So either we're going to go running back again or we're going to go quarterback. And while I said I didn't really like these quarterbacks early, like the earlier guys, every team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of the 12 teams have a quarterback, but we're going to go quarterback here for the experiment. And we're going to be going with either Carson Wentz or Russell Wilson. Both guys who can run. Carson Wentz obviously more injury prone, but I just want to pick Carson Wentz here because I think he may finish better than Russell Wilson, and I think Carson Wentz, if he doesn't get hurt, could be a top 5 quarterback just strictly based off of his season from 2 years ago and how great he played. Last year, he didn't play great. Obviously, played just okay, but he actually played pretty good. So we're going to just trust in Carson Wentz. Put the trust in him. We're not investing highly in him like you would have had last year. So it feels worth it at this position. And then when you draft a top quarterback like Carson Wentz, you don't have to draft the backup quarterback. So that's A-okay with me. Boom, Carson Wentz has been selected onto our team. After we go Carson Wentz, Kareem Hunt, Russell Wilson, Will Fuller, Christian Kirk, Allen Robinson, LaShawn McCoy, Ronald Jones, Jordan Howard, Jared Goff, N'Keal Harry, Geronimo Allison, Chicago defense, Larry Fitz, Vance McDonald, Dante Foreman, David Njoku, Cam Newton, Austin Eckler, Corey Davis, DK Metcalf, LA Rams. Now we just got absolutely fucked out of getting a good tight end that I actually want. So. It's our pick, and 2 defenses went in the 9th round. Don't be picking a defense that early. If you're picking the Bears that early, I guess I kind of understand. I wouldn't be doing it. I would be doing the strategy that I'm going to talk about later. But picking the Rams in the 9th round is just fucking stupid. Don't do that. So it's our pick. We're not going quarterback again. We're going to have to go running back here. And that's strictly because I don't really like a lot of these. I would have preferred to get a guy like Eckler or like Ronald Jones than the guys here. But I do want to also point out that now that the 2 tight ends are gone that I wanted, you just absolutely tank on tight end when shit like that happens, and you just pick 2 of them at the end of the draft and just switch week in, week out which guy you want. So, but we're going, that has nothing to do with this pick right here. We're going Jalen Samuels. Jalen Samuels has high upside of, if James Conner was to get hurt, he's going to be a top 12 running back, and while you don't pray for injury, that is definitely something you need to keep in mind while you are picking your fantasy team. And also, Jalen Samuels could be involved getting passes in a PPR league, obviously better, getting passes as a receiver or as a tight end. And he's also going to get catches out of the backfield when he's playing running back when James Conner is gassed after blowing the shit out of the other team. And he's also a handcuff for James Conner since we have James Conner, so that's A-okay with me. We're going Jalen Samuel. You'd probably never start him if you have James Conner, so keep that in mind. But if you weren't to have picked James Conner, it's still fine to get Jalen Samuels. So boom shakalaka, Jalen Samuels. After we went Jalen Samuels, it is our pick again. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs, only 2 receivers. So now is where you start loading up on another receiving option here. And Golden Tate's a guy I don't like at all. I think if you dropped anyone from the Giants, that's not Saquon or Sterling Shepard, or not, that's not fucking, oh my god, I'm going so dumb. That's not Sterling Shepard or Saquon or Evan Ingram. You don't want any of the other guys. You don't want Golden Tate. But you know who we do want here? We're gonna give a little throw it back like 1-3. McCole Hardman now. McCole Hardman could potentially break out this season. He could be the number 2 if that man whose name is escaping me. God damn it. Why am I going so dumb right now? Who's the other receiver that is not Tyreek Hill that's on the team? Whatever. His nickname's KFC. He's a fat guy. Kelvin Benjamin, that's his name. You don't want, he may suck. So we're going to go with McCole Hardman and hope that if Tyreek is to get suspended for more than 4 games, that McCole Hardman fills that spot and does it well. Ooh, McCole Hardman. After McCole Hardman, Golden Tate goes, followed by D.D. Westbrook, Ito Smith, Jameis Winston, LA Chargers, Kiki, Do You Love Me, Cootie, Adrian Peterson, Jerick McKinnon, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a.k.a. MVS, Carlos Hyde, Jags defense, Phil the Thrill Rivers, Cortland Sutton, Austin Hooper, Big Ben, Damian Harris, Baltimore defense, Curtis Samuel, Deshaun Jackson, Dante Moncrief, T.J. Hawkinson, and then Rob Gronkowski. Now it's our pick, so we have to go tight end here. Now, I wouldn't advise going a guy like Delaney Walker to start, but I do think that if Delaney Walker is healthy, he'll be okay. He did get hurt week 1, so stacking Delaney Walker with Chris Herndon. Chris Herndon is going to be suspended for 2 games due to his DUI, or whatever they call it now, driving under the influence and getting pulled over. That gets you a 2-game suspension in the NFL. So pairing him with someone else is pretty ideal because I'd rather start Chris Herndon over Delaney Walker. But while Chris Herndon is out, you're going to be having to play Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker's okay. He's not a guy I'm definitely targeting, whereas I am targeting Chris Herndon if I do end up drafting 2 tight ends. So we're going to go Chris Herndon here. After we go Chris Herndon, Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cleveland Browns, James Washington, Dak, Emmanuel Sanders, Paris Campbell, Jay Ajayi, Devin Singletary, Alexander Madison, Peyton Barber, Darwin Thompson, Tyrell Williams, Deshaun Hamilton, Anthony Miller, Sebastian Janikowski, Josh Allen, Harrison Butker, Minnesota defense, Lamar Jackson, Hines, Justice Hill. So now it's our pick. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. And normally I do 7 and 4. But we did draft 2 tight ends, so we are going to have to get another receiver here in case McCall Hardman is an absolute busty bust. So we're going to be going with some guy who is going unnoticed. Traquan Smith could be the 2 on the Saints. The second look for Drew Brees. I guess not the second look because he's going to be looking either Kamara. He's going to be looking Kamara, Thomas, and then him, or Thomas, Kamara, and then him. But Traquan Smith is going pretty much undrafted, and he's a guy that I like as a sleeper. I also like Robert Foster down here, or one of the Dolphins wide receivers, but they're a bit more risky. Not as risky as my boy Traquan Smith, and with the 13th round pick, you can just absolutely cut this guy if he fucking sucks. But you'll be able to figure that out pretty soon. He put up a dud last year in a game he played, so we don't like that, but this year it may be different, so we're going Traquan. After we go Traquan, it is now our pick for the defense, and I did say at the beginning of the video that I would explain to you how to pick your defense. So leave a like down below, leave a comment, click that goddamn subscribe button, and I want to explain it to you now. At defense, what you're going to do is you're going to go on Google, type in NFL schedule week 1, you're going to print that shit out, and the team that is playing against the shittiest offense, that's the defense you pick. It's that simple. And you just keep, like, the Browns have been taken, the Vikings have been taken, so you count those guys off. You don't count the teams that have been taken, obviously, and then you figure out which defense is the easiest week 1 off the board, and then week 2, you know what you do? You cut them, and then do the same thing, and I'll release a video on which defense to pick. So we're going to go with the Cowboys because they're at the top, and then you go kicker in the next round. 1 second. Sorry, but I'm back. And then Greg Zerline comes off the board. And I'm not going to say the defenses or kickers. So Chris Thompson, Greg Olson, Dion Lewis, Jamal Williams, Hollywood Brown, Kirk Cousins, Devin Funchess, Rob Kelly, Andy Isabella, Jimmy Graham, Matt Breida, who's a solid pick at the end of the draft because of his upside of being potentially the number 1 on San Fran. I think he's the best running back on the team. And then you go kicker. So you're going to Google kicker rankings and figure out which kicker you want. So we just go Jake Elliott here. So that is the end of the video. Our lineup is Carson Wentz at the starting quarterback. Our 2 running backs are James Conner, Kerryon Johnson. Our 2 receivers are Julio Jones and Mike Williams. Our starting tight end, which I don't necessarily like, is Delaney Walker. Our flex is Derrick Henry. Kicker, defense don't matter. So our running back is our bench starts off with Chris Carson, Royce Freeman, Jalen Samuels, McCall Hardman, Chris Herndon, the fourth, and Traquan Smith. So thank you guys a lot for watching this video. Please click the subscribe button down below. Please click it. It's probably on your screen also. Probably easier to click. Click the picture of Johnny Manziel that's on your screen right now. So click the subscribe button. Click the like button. Leave a comment that says, I love Jake Elliott. And have a great goddamn fucking day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.